Yes, that's right, guys and gals. GoldenEye 007 is on the Nintendo Switch. And with online multiplayer and widescreen support. Friggin' phenomenal. Today I wanted to go over some quick things with you, though. We're going to be playing this later on today. I'm going to be doing some GoldenEye 007, obviously, and we're obviously going to also be doing some online multiplayer, since online multiplayer is part of the Nintendo Switch Online. And I'm going to do a couple things here real quick just to get us out of the way. Number one, you need to know that the settings for the controller are kind of messed up, and I have a quick fix for you, so if you follow along, I can show you how to completely fix all of the controller issues pretty quickly. Don't get too intimidated, it's really not that difficult. As well as, I'm going to show you how to enable your widescreen, because obviously you want it to look like this, not like the other crap. And it's pretty easy. First thing you're going to want to do is go to the settings inside of a game, so make sure you hit the start button. Go over to the controller, and you're going to want to change the controller from 1.1 Honey, which is what I used to use back in the N64 days. But, you know, that's because the N64 controller is set up a very specific way, right? Well, we're not using an N64 controller. We're using a Pro controller, right? So we need to change this to 1.2 Honey, or sorry, 1.2 Solitaire. And then you're going to want to go over to the settings, and you're going to change your look up and down to upright. Then you're going to want to go down to your ratio, and you're going to want to change it from normal to 16:9. That's going to enable your widescreen support. Now, this is going to fix most of the issues, but not all of them. Once you finish with this, what's going to happen is you're going to be stuck with the move and the look buttons are going to be reversed, which is really painful. And also the fire button, for some reason, is on the left trigger instead of the right trigger, which is definitely not comfortable to use, especially when you're used to using the right trigger. So very easy fix for this is we're going to go into the system settings right here. We're going to scroll all the way down to controllers and sensors. You're going to go to change button mapping, and you're going to choose the controller that you want to change the button mapping on. Don't be intimidated by this. You can reset it at any point, and you can also save it as a preset. So we're going to hit change, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to change this one right here, ZL to L. This is going to remap the L button to ZL, which is going to allow you to aim using the ZL trigger. Then you're going to want to map ZR to ZL, and this is going to make it so that you can fire using the right trigger instead of the left trigger. And then you're going to want to go all the way down to the bottom here where it says control stick settings, and you're going to want to turn on the change to right stick on and change to left stick on. This is going to swap the two sticks so that they function the way that you would assume that they would function. And once you're done with this, you want to go down to save as preset mapping and save it to GoldenEye 007. This way, at any time, you can come in here and you can hit reset. Your controller will be back to normal. And then you can hit load preset, and you can bring up the GoldenEye 007. And this is actually pretty darn cool in what it does for your gameplay. And I'm going to show you really quickly what it does. So let's go back to the game. Yeah. And once you're in the game, you'll notice now, and I'm going to show you on the actual controller, when you move this stick, this is your look stick, which is exactly what it should be. When you move this stick is your movement stick, so you're going to be able to actually move properly using this stick. Your fire button, which is going to be your right trigger, is actually your right trigger, and you can aim using your left trigger, and of course you can aim with the movement stick. So this is the best setup, honestly, for this because it's going to allow you to use this like you would pretty much any other first-person shooter, and in a way it actually brings GoldenEye 007 into the future, so to speak, because, you know, you could never do this with the Nintendo 64 controller. Now, granted, the Nintendo 64 controller has its own unique style, and quite honestly, I enjoyed using the 64 controller. I just don't have one for the Nintendo Switch. Now, when it comes to the online play, it is important to note that the online play does require, I think, you to be friends. So I'm going to very quickly flash my friend code up here for you guys if you want to shoot me a friends list so that we can play together. And there's my friend code. We're probably going to be doing some online play, some complex, some freaking, I don't even know, I can't remember, was jungle one of the maps? But, you know, we're going to have some fun playing with a lot of these, some facility, proximity mines would be really fun. I call odd job, by the way. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, even when we're just having a little bit of fun with GoldenEye 007, one of my absolute favorite classics from back in the day. I mean, if we talk about Diablo, which Diablo is definitely one of my favorites from a long time ago. You know, I played it as a kid. This was also a game that consumed a large amount of my life, more than I would ever like to admit, because I played it for hours and hours on end. I had all the cheat codes that you could get, you know, the ones that you had to get by beating the game in a certain time period. And quite honestly, it's just like, I had so much fun just like speed running all these things. Now, one thing I am worried about, which I'm not sure if you can do, because the strafe keys are unfortunately mapped to the D-pad. Now, if you guys are unaware of this, there is a glitch in GoldenEye 007 that allows you to move at double speed, and using this control setup, you may have some issues with the double speed thing. But basically, what you have to do for the double speed, if you've never done this before, I'm going to give you a quick tutorial. On the original controller, what you would do is you would press the forward left on the control pad. I can actually do this. Yeah, here we go. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to yes. Okay. So what you do is you sidestep and you move at the same time. So as you can see my little joystick is actually moving on the screen. Basically you have to sidestep and move forward at the same time, which requires you to hold the joystick up and left, and then also press the sidestep button at the same time. This allows you to move very quickly. And let me give you an example of this, and we'll just we'll time it real quick just so I can show you the difference. Completely unofficial timing, by the way. All right, so let's starting right here. We're gonna get to right there. So right there. All right. So 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5. So about 5 seconds the normal way, right? Using the glitched method, which is essentially holding down the opposite strafe button and the movement button at the same time and off-centering your character by a little bit, you end up with this: 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. As you can see, about half the time to make the same distance, just simply because I'm holding the two buttons together and utilizing them for a little bit of extra speed. This is actually how a lot of the speed records in GoldenEye 007 actually were able to be beaten. There was quite a few of them, I think it was like 3 or 4, that literally you could not beat them without knowing this trick. And it's just a fun little thing to know. If you never knew it, well, guess what? Now you know it. And if you knew it, well, put it down in the comments. I want to know how many of you guys actually knew about the strafe movement trick that allowed you to move faster than normal. It does seem a little bit clunkier to use it with this control scheme, but might take some getting used to. We'll see. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, and keep watching.